So, Tacitus Histories, Book 1, Chapter 33. Titus Vinius has given his opinion. His opinion was to stay put, sit it out, don't do anything hasty. Give the worse elements time to regret what they've been doing, and give the better elements time to agree that really all this should be stopped. He is opposed vehemently by Laco, Piso, because Piso and Laco have a thing going on. Icelus, of course, who's a nasty little faux equestrian. So they are poo-pooing Vinius's warning that if Galba goes out, it could go badly wrong. He might not get back under his own steam. He might require assistance from others who may not be able to save him. Sit tight, barricade the doors. We've got lots of slaves in the palace that could take up arms, maybe. Festinandum ceteris videbatur. Videbatur, it seemed good very often. So what seemed good? Festinandum seemed good. Getting on with it seemed good. Here's a gerund echoing the gerunds of Vinius. Gerunds are quite adamant, demanding, importunate. And poor old Galba, who can't make up his mind between coffee and tea, has had Vinius using gerunds and gerundives at him, and now he's got an ear battering from the other side. Festinandum ceteris videbatur. Just think about ceteris, it's Laco, Icelus, Piso. Antequam cresceret invalida ad hoc conioratio paucorum. Before a still weak, a still lame conspiracy, paucorum, on the part of a few men, cresceret, might grow. Don't give this time to foment. Don't give it time to grow into something unmanageable. At the moment, not much is going on. If we strike now, then we might get out of this mess. And he talks about Otho. He says, even Otho would be trepidatorum, would be trembling. And how do we know that Otho would be trembling? Well, qui furtim digressus, who snuck away furtively. He made excuses about some house he'd bought that needed doing up. He snuck off like a coward, like a reptile, not like a conquering hero. And then he was taken off to strangers. He turned up, there were only 23 of them, and that disconcerted him. And then he was sort of bundled along unceremoniously. He must have thought, what have I got myself into? This could go badly wrong. So somehow they know back at the palace what's happened. So Otho was at a disadvantage. His behaviour showed that. What happened to him showed that. But now, by this cunctatione, The but, by the way, is implied. It's obvious, I think, that you have to supply the adversative particle but. So we've had these reasons to be positive about Otho's behaviour, but on the other hand, by this dilly-dallying, cunctatione, and sluggishness, laziness of thought. Oh, we'll just wait until things sort themselves out. Terentium tempus, on the part of people wasting time. The split at the heart of government is stark and is deep. These are heavyweight words, cunctatione et segnitia. With Tacitus, if you really want to hammer something home, you say it twice. If you want to leave absolutely no doubt, you say it 3 times. Tacitus loves the number 2, he loves the number 3. Cunctatione itself, a hammer blow of a word, segnitia. How many syllables is that? Cunctatione et segnitia. These are damning indictments of Vinnius's advice. And they are terentium tempus. Nice alliteration there. Wasting time. And because of this, Otho was learning to play the emperor. We've had criticism of Otho before, that he's an actor. And he is getting to learn to play the part of emperor. You're giving him time. Act now. Non expectandum ut. It should not be. This is reported speech. Esse is missing anything. I think because of the urgency of the situation, anything, and of course it's Tacitus anyway, any word that we don't need, we get rid of. Any word that can be given extra vehemence to is given it by its length, by being made into a gerundive, because just as Vinnius was adamant, so are the others going to be adamant on their side. Non expectandum ut. It should not be waited for. They shouldn't wait for a time that the Praetorian camp, becomes composed of a single idea. They're all in agreement that Otho is their man, let's get on with it. And that with this Praetorian guard behind him, he should invadat forum, he should storm into the forum, and, to make matters worse, under the very gaze of Galba, make his way to the Capitol, the very heart of Rome. One of the 7 hills, but the seventh hill, the one hill where the temple to Jupiter Optimus Maximus was, the spiritual heart of Rome. Dum egregius imperator. Now, Vinnius didn't use this weapon, but I think Laco seems to be using it in bucketfuls. Sarcasm, egregius. Excellent. While this brilliant emperor, with his fortibus amicis, with his brave friends, domum cludit, shuts up shop, janua ac limine tenus. Well, as far as the doorways go. Is Laco here being openly critical of Galba as a dead duck emperor? possibly egregius imperator, fortibus amicis. How can they be brave friends? They can't be brave friends because Vinius, for one, has been advocating sitting on hands and doing nothing and being cautious. And then they've barricaded the doors. Great, but this is a palace. It's not a fortress. They get past the doors. We're all dead. We've just got a few slaves armed with penknives. Obsidionem nimirum toleratus. In order to endure a siege, a full-blown siege, nimirum, essentially means for God's sake. So the sarcasm of Laco is evident. He thinks barricading the palace doors, well, they'll be through them in 5 minutes, and then there's nothing. No one. We're sitting ducks. And we've got here this lame duck emperor and his so-called brave friends. I think there's sarcasm aplenty here. And he carries on. Et placarum auxilium in service. And what a wonderful help the slaves would be. See, consensus tanti multitudinis. If the one-mindedness of such a great crowd. Now, this is the crowd outside, and they are, at the moment, claiming to be pro-Galba, death to the traitors, the conspirators. If the single-mindedness of such a great crowd, and what matters most, their initial indignation at the threat to their beloved, glorious Emperor Galba should fade away. Accordingly, in tuta quae indecera. Accordingly, what was shameful, quae indecera, was actually the dangerous course of action. To stay put, actually, you're not safe here. It will be dangerous. Or, if it were necessary to fall, he said that they should run to meet the danger. They should face the crisis head on. That would be far worse for Otho, and the right course of action for themselves. Laco menacingly attacked Vinius as he fought back against this opinion, with Icelus goading him on because of his steadfast persistence in private hatred of Vinius against the public good.